Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Not behind me now, on the side of me, we got a 2002 Honda Accord, and what I'm going to do today is show you how to replace the front brake pads. Coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, here we go. Got the car jacked up. Number one thing, safety is a must. Safety is important. So, we got the car jacked up. We got a jack stand right up here under the frame of the car on both sides. And now we're going to take off our front tires. Your tires are held on by 4 19mm, or you can use 3/4 inch lug nuts. So I got a 19mm deep. And check this out. Let's check it out. We're going to use the pawl driver on this. Yeah, buddy. Let's get this tire. Alright, so let's pull off both front tires and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing you want to do, here's your master cylinder over here. You want to take the cap off. Why? Because as we push the pistons back on the calipers, which I'm about to show you in a few minutes, a lot of newer vehicles have seals inside the master that if you push that back with that cap being on, you're going to create a back pressure and mess that master cylinder up and you will not have no brakes. So you definitely want to do that. Next step. You want to grab you some towel. And I like to nickname this the Timmy towel. Now, a lot of times when you're pushing the master cylinder back, this fluid is going to rise up and sometimes it will spill out. So what you want to do is take a paper towel, crumble it up a little bit, and stick it into the master cylinder just like that. Now the reason why you want to use paper towel instead of like a rag or something, because paper towel is porous. So as they come up, that paper towel is going to soak it right up. Alright, let's move on to the next step. We'll be right back.
Right there.
Alright guys, here's Fisher. He's bringing us our parts. This is Cheryl. Yeah, buddy. There it is. Fisher Auto Parts. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm on the right side. I got the wheel turned all the way to the right. Now there's two ways of doing these brakes. There's two ways of pushing that piston back. One I'm going to show you, which I like the best, is I use a screwdriver. And what you want to do is you're going to stick the screwdriver between the rotor and the brake pad. Can you see that good?
Mm-hmm.
So and the other way using a C-clamp. On the other side we're going to use the C-clamp. So what I'm going to do is get the screwdriver between there and I want to twist it a little bit to try to push that back just enough so I can get the screwdriver wedged in there. Alright, and once I get it wedged in there, slowly, as you can see, me pushing that piston is going back. Alright, we're going to do this and push that all the way back, and we'll be right back. Alright, we got that one pushed back. Now we're going to remove the caliper. Now, guys, what I like about Hondas, you don't have to take off two bolts. There's two bolts holding the caliper on, two 17mm bolts. One right here and one right here. We do not have to remove both of them. That's all we have to do is remove the bottom one. So I got a 17mm shallow socket 3/8 drive with my 3/8 drive ratchet. And now sometimes guys, you can push your hand like this and do it. What I like to do is just take my hand and hit it. Alright, let's remove this bolt / slider, because this bolt is also a slider which the caliper slides on. We're going to remove this bolt. Okay, take your caliper, pick it up just like that. Done. There's the piston right there, and as you can see, the piston is pushed all the way back into the caliper. Alright, let's grab our new brakes and all, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is get our new brake pads. And the brake pads we get comes with the hardware as well. If you got and I don't like to put down AutoZone Advance and all, but if you was to buy these brake pads from them, you're not going to get this right here. You're just going to get brake pads, and they're not great of a quality. We did with Fisher Auto Parts, as you can see, because their product is just a whole lot better. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is take off our outboard. Now this is the outboard pad because it's on the outside over here, and this is the inboard. Take it out, take this one out. Pay attention because the inboard has a wear sensor on it. Don't have to worry about that now. Now we're gonna take our clips, and the clips just pop right up, take them right off. And this one slides right down and off. The next thing we're gonna do, we want to clean these contacts right here. So when we put our new hardware in there, they go flush up against there, and it won't. The brake pedal won't get brake pads won't get stopped. So take a little wire brush and clean off each point. And you might have to get a little wire brush, which I'm gonna do. We're gonna clean off the 4 points, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our new clips right here, and the next step we're gonna do is what's called the 007. I used to take my finger and stick it into the anti-seize. So our good friend of ours, Len Mechanic, said, I said Len Mechanic. Manic Mechanic 007, his name is Len. He said, Tim, stop doing that, get you some Q-tips.
That'd be nasty, he said.
So he said, get some Q-tips and use the Q-tips instead. So I said, okay, Len, I'm gonna do that. So we got here, and we call this method the 007. Get you some Q-tips, get you some anti-seize, and what you want to do is put it where the brake pads are gonna slide at, on the 2 contacts right here. Because if your brake pads go in there and they get stuck, it's gonna cause your brakes to overheat, and then you're gonna have a little problem. All right, so we got one done, and what I'm gonna do here is take it, put it in to there, and you got these little parts, these little tabs right here that sticks up. They're gonna stick right into those. So we put them over, we take our hand and pop them right down into place. Perfect, makes that even out. Now let's do the upper one, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we do is grab our brake pads. Now, guys, if you get brake pads, the new brake pads you get, you want to make sure. Oh yeah, by the way, the name brand of the brake pads I got is called Silent Stop, and you're not going to get these from AutoZone Advance. Go right to Fisher and get you some. These are some great brake pads. And when you get your brake pads, you want to make sure your brake pads have this. You're going to see a little shim right on the back. That's an anti-squeal shim. Without that shim being up there, there's a good chance that your brakes are going to squeal. Or you got to do it the old-fashioned way. Get the disc brake quiet and spray the back of it. Let it set for 5 minutes so, and then put these brake pads together. But we don't have to worry about that. Now, the first one we're going to put is the inboard pad, which is right here. And it's got the wear sensor right on the top. So what we want to do is get the brake pad that matches up to it. And we got to pop this back on. Okay. Get the one that lines up to it, and that's going to be on the inside. And to put these brake pads on, now, do not, how am I going to say this the best way? This is the outside of the rotor right here. The outside of the brake pad, the biggest part. You want to make sure those two line up. Don't try to put it in this way. You might get it to fit, but it's definitely going to mess your brakes up. So you definitely want to make sure that it's like that. And we're going to put it down into the bottom groove first, and then the top groove, and you're going to see better on the outside pad, and pop it right in, just like that. Let's grab an outboard pad, which doesn't matter which one you use. They don't have the wear sensor on it. And again, watch this. You want to make sure you put it inside the groove. Now you notice I'm putting it at an angle, and that's what you do. Put it at an angle and pop it right in. Now I just know I'm gonna take this one back out because I noticed that this shim is just a little bit on the loose side. If your shim is like that, pop the shim off. You're gonna have tabs up here. Just squeeze those tabs in just a little bit, each one, so it would grab that brake pad better. So definitely, if yours is getting loose, definitely want to do that. And then stick it back up there, and it's might be a little bit difficult more to put it back on, but as you heard that thing is tight up there. Let's put that back into place. And what I'm going to do, just for added security, I'm going to pop this one back out, and I'm going to do that one as well. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our brake pads in there. Everything is looking good, man. This looks good. Yeah, boy. All right, let's take our caliper, bring our caliper back down. Now, you can slide this caliper back and forth, as you can see, and you want to make sure you can't do that. So you want to move it back and forth to make sure it goes right over the brake pads, go down, and you're going to have this little boot right here. Make sure you hold that boot inside so that caliper can go over it. Take your bottom bolt. And I want to make sure this thing goes in right. Turn it in by a couple threads by hand, just so you don't cross thread it. And once you got it, get your 17mm socket again. You go ahead and we're going to tighten this up. Be right back. Alright guys, when you're tightening up this bolt, you want to go ahead till it stops. And once it stops, just give it a tug just a little bit more. Don't go crazy, don't need no half-inch or nothing. Half-inch ratchet, this will be great. Alright, this side is done. The next thing we're going to do is turn our wheel all the way to the left, and I'm going to show you another method of pushing that piston back on the left side. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are now on the driver's side. In the driver's side, we're going to use a different method to push that piston back. Over here, we're going to use the famous C-clamp. This is the way that it used to be done, and still is. A lot of vehicles we can use this still. Alright, going to the bottom bolt, but this time we're going to do a bit quicker. This time, we're going to use the big bill ratchet. Yeah, buddy. 17mm 3/8 drive. Go in here. Take that one bolt out, and then we're going to flip this piston right up. Be right back. Alright guys, we got the bolt out. Pull it out. Flip our caliper up. Alright, Sylvie, what's next?
Take an old brake pad.
Huh?
Take an old brake pad.
Alright. This one?
Sure.
Alright, we take an old brake pad.
Put it up against the piston.
Alright guys, check this out. Definitely want to use an old brake pad. You do not, I've seen a lot of times guys will take the C-clamp and they'll put it right here and let this part go in there and push that piston back. This piston is not steel like the rest of it, so you can crack that. So what you want to do is take you an old brake pad, and the part that's soft, the pad itself, you want to put that up against the piston. You want to try not to put the metal part up against, even though the metal part goes up against it anyway. Hey, try to use the soft part. Put the soft part right up against it just like that. Take your C-clamp. Put it just like that. And what you're going to do is slowly twist your C-clamp, and you're going to be pushing the piston back into the caliper. And you want to keep on going until it stops. Alright, so let's do that, and we'll be right back. Alright, we got it pushed back. We are looking good. Let's take this C-clamp off. Take our old brake pad out. You guys know what's next. What you want to do, your inboard and your outboard pad, take it out. The inboard pad is going to have the wear sensor on it. Pop it. Look at that. Get them brakes. Well, actually, don't look at the brakes because there's no brakes. This thing was grinding. Now, guys, a lot of times you go to a repair shop. At this point, a repair shop will rip you off because they will tell you that, listen, this thing's messed up. You're going to need new rotors or whatever. You do not need, if you're stepping on the brakes and your steering wheel don't shake, you don't have a shimmy, you do not have to replace that rotor. The worst thing that can happen is the new brake pads is going to start getting a little bit of groove in it, wearing to that rotor, which is not bad at all. So you do not have to replace it. The only time you got to replace your rotor is when you step on the brakes and the car is shimmying. And at that point, you can cut the rotors, but rotors are so cheap, you might as well get new ones. But we're going to take these off. Pop this one off. Our clips, this one pull up, and this one pulls down. Take that off. Pull that one down. Next is get your wire brush. And we're going to clean the 4 contact points. Alright, so let's clean them up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got those cleaned up. The next thing we do, grab our new clips. Now, just don't stick your clips up there. Why not, Sylvie? Why can't we stick the clips?
You have to put the gooey stuff on it.
The anti-seize. We got to do the 007. So, we'll grab our anti-seize with the Q-tip. Lubricate the contact points. Right here and right there. Do not go crazy and get this on your rotor, because if you do, you're going to stop and you're just going to slide. Alright, so here's number 1. Put it in there. Use the points right there to lock it down. And that's one into place. Let's get our upper one in and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is got our new brake pads. But before we do that, grab your caliper and make sure you can just slide that caliper back and forth. Perfect. Alright, the inboard has the wear sensor. And take a notice how I'm grabbing this. And it goes just like that. And I'm going to show you the outside, because the outboard you can get a better look at it than the inboard. Alright, now come on this side, you can see it right here. Take the outboard. I'm going in like that. And then what I'm doing here is because I should have showed you this on the other side, I'm pushing down on the brake pad, because these right here, the clips, there was holding it into place. And you can see how they flex down. You're going to have to do that. So you put it in at an angle like that to hit the bottom ones first, pushing down on the brake pad, and at the same time, in. Perfect. Done. Next, take our caliper, swing it down. The little boot right there, make sure that it's in place. Okay, take our 17mm bolt and put that in and tighten it up. Okay, let's tighten it up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we take out the Timmy towel. Remember what I told you? Every time you push it back on the piston, the brake fluid would come up and the towel will soak up the brake fluid. So as let's get this out of the way, pick up our towel, and look at our towel. Look at that. Soaked with the brake fluid. And notice this part was inside the master cylinder and it's soaked all the way up there. And there's not a drop of fluid leaking on the side. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, we're not done yet though guys. This part right here is very important, because right now, let's put our master cylinder cap on. Right now, if you try to drive this car and you step on the brakes, you're going to go through somebody's house. So, what you got to do is pump the brake pedal up, because we push those pistons back. Now we got to push those pistons and let them come out and meet the brake pad up against the rotor. So, you step on the brake pedal a couple of times. Now you notice when I step on the brake pedal one time, watch how far this brake pedal goes to the floor. Look at that, down to the floor. That's because those pistons are coming out. So you let it go, you pump it up a few times. That should have built up. There it is. Man, it took a while. All right, you see that? It stops. A good way you can tell how good your brakes are is that when you step on the brakes, it should be level right with the gas pedal. All right, that is great. All right, we're gonna put the tire back on, and this job is done. I am proud of you. We'll be right back.
Alright, so today we had a 2002 Honda Accord and we showed you how to replace the front brake pads. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astroautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astro Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.